Hello, friends. Bienvenidos. My name is Jen, aka Jen Kahlo on social media, your local witchy friend and intuitive guide through the occult. As always, my lovely husband and co host is David, aka Premier Pulls on social media.
Hi, everyone. On today's episode, Jen explains Scorpios.
Welcome to the show. Grab a chair, make yourself at home. Jen's got stories to share, you'll never feel alone.
Very, very exciting Scorpio season.
Yeah. It's among us. I know we kind of say this every time, but people are so excited to want to hear their signs. We've gone through about 5 or 6, and most people are like, oh yeah, that's cool, but when are you getting to mine?
What about me?
Yes, yeah. And Scorpio is no exception. There's quite a bit of Scorpios in our life, and a lot of important Scorpios in my life, so I'll definitely touch on that. But as far as any housekeeping, do we have anything?
Yes, so October 26th, we will be open until 9 p.m. taking walk-ins for the special event, the Ghouls Art Show at Luna Luna.
Yeah.
And David will actually have a piece up. He is going to be creating something awesome and artistic, and come check it out.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. And then we do discount rates those days anytime we have special events. So if you've ever been interested in doing a reading, that is definitely a good time to show up.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I know a lot of Scorpios. I feel like it's kind of a common sign, which is cool. I love Scorpio energy. But what was happening 9 months ago?
I know, yeah, right?
Why were people getting busy?
People were definitely getting busy 9 months ago because there is a lot of Scorpios. And Scorpio is such an interesting sign as far as like when it falls on the calendar. Definitely within fall season. It's kind of around like the spooky season. I'm very curious to know if that has a lot to do with like the sign itself. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Yeah, I just did the math in my head. It's between New Year's and Valentine's Day. So 2 very big holidays.
2 years to New Year's and Valentine's Day, but okay.
That's like a month.
That's a month,
depending, because all the signs are a month long. So if you're, sorry for the graphic image, but if your parents got it on around New Year's, you're more likely to be an early Scorpio, and closer to Valentine's Day, you're more likely to be a later Scorpio.
I see. Okay, well, Good to know.
Anyway.
What a way to start the episode.
Slightly unhinged. Like Scorpio. I love Scorpios. They are a fixed water sign ruled by Mars traditionally, and Pluto is their ruler in modern astrology. So it's kind of interesting and funny that we started talking about sex, because Scorpios are known for their sex appeal.
Oh, since God.
I
do not want to hear this.
Well, they're co-ruled by Mars and Pluto, which gives them that like mysterious, sexy vibe. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that Scorpios will have in common physically is their stare. They have like
a gaze?
Yes, they have like a super intense, sultry stare. Yeah, I think I'm just a fangirl.
You definitely love your Scorpios. What do they... Are they known by, like, in general, like, people, do they fuck with Scorpios, or like, oh gosh, like, I don't want to mess with a Scorpio?
I feel like it's 50-50. You love them or you hate them, because they're a fixed sign. So that means, again, they're in the middle of their season. So they're pretty true to who they are. They're known for being, like, dedicated, trustworthy, like you can trust them, and focused on action and solving the problem. They're definitely not afraid to speak their mind. A lot of people will think that Scorpios are a fire sign because they're just like so straight to the point, but they're a very intense water sign. Their like animal is the scorpion. So, you know, they have this like stinger and exoskeleton, but on the inside they're a soft little baby. So
do you think it presents itself as stoicism? Because the Scorpios I know personally, and I'm going to get into it, I feel like they're very stoic.
Yeah.
And they're not ones to rattle the cage, but they're always like in the know. They know what's happening.
Absolutely.
They might not always be the loud, outspoken like Leos. I feel like Leos just kind of go for it, and even if they're wrong, they're still going to like voice them, whereas I feel like with the Scorpios they're a little more behind the scenes kind of. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. At their best, they're loyal, passionate, intuitive, determined, and discerning.
Okay.
So they definitely observe and they know what's going on. They have a good bullshit reader. So that's why at their worst, they're seen as like guarded, skeptical, secretive, pessimistic, or jealous, just because they play their cards close to the chest and they know what's going on.
That makes sense, yeah, because again, to me it comes off more as like stoic. And then they're very, from what, just on a personal experience, they're very decisive, but they're not outspoken. Does that make sense?
They're very quick to send you a la chingada. They're very quick
to cut you off.
To cut you off.
Ooh,
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're very quick to be like, "Oh, I'm done. Bye. See ya." Yeah.
Even if there's like a misunderstanding, are they ones to go back and say like, I noticed maybe I jumped to conclusions, or like it wasn't you or me, it was just like a bad misunderstanding? Will they take it back?
No, they are not the first one to do that. They are not the bigger person. And that is not just Scorpios, that is a fixed sign thing. So Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio are all the fixed signs.
So, okay.
So they all share that trait as a fixed sign.
I see.
So yeah, Scorpio is no exception.
No exception. Okay. Okay.
They will feel their feelings, and once you get past that tough exterior, if you befriend a Scorpio, they have a lot of emotion, they have a lot of depth, but they're not going to show you their soft side if they don't know if they can trust you 100%.
Okay. But they're also not like abrupt or like they're not coarse either, right?
No, Scorpios are not like rude. They're just to the point. So if they're beefing with someone, they're not going to be like a Leo or an Aries and be like, ah, blah, 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 blah. You know, like they're just going to be like, okay, that's cool. Well, I'm just not going to see you again. Have a good life.
Okay.
They're very to the point.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not going to pop off.
But they're also not going to like rattle the cage, right? They'll just end you and then move on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then people do not live rent-free in Scorpios' heads either? Or do they ruminate?
They will. They ruminate, but they don't show it. But they do. Okay. They'll be like, doesn't bother me. Fuck off. And then inside they'll be crying.
They'll be crying.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah, it's that emotional with the water sign and the depth with like the Mars-Pluto ruling.
Oh, okay. I see.
Let's give some examples. So some fixed signs that are famous, infamous, renowned, whatever you want to call them: RuPaul,
Okay.
Ryan Gosling, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matthew McConaughey. I think Matthew McConaughey is a great Scorpio, but anyway.
Yeah.
Your girl, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, I can see that.
Yeah. John Krasinski, he plays
Jim in The Office.
In The Office, yes. And he always has that stare. People know him for his stare, how he stares at the camera. Yeah. Very Scorpio coded. Bill Gates.
Okay.
Do you know Anne Rice, the author? She wrote Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very famous novel. Yep. Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Pablo Picasso.
We talked a lot about Picasso in our Unhinged. That's one of our favorite artists, right?
Very, very famous. Yeah. And Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star is a Scorpio. In his makeup brand, he has a lot of like Scorpio branded things. Yeah, he's very much Scorpio.
Out of the celebrities that you listed, which one would you say is like a textbook Scorpio?
I think a textbook Scorpio is RuPaul and Jeffree Star, to be honest. They have that creativity with the water sign. That like.
Well, and RuPaul himself is that dichotomy, right? Of like, because Ru, you would say, is a little more of that like introverted, doesn't really
like RuPaul, the person, not the persona. Yes. Yeah. Even in interviews backstage, like his most recent interview was with the podcast Call Her Daddy or something like that, and he's like, yeah, in my personal life, like I'm just chilling, I'm a wallflower, and it's like, what? But like RuPaul the drag queen is different. However, you could see some crossover, and for my RuPaul stans, I don't remember what season this was, but whatever season Pearl was in, where RuPaul is like staring at Pearl for disrespecting RuPaul, and then Pearl's like, do I have something on my face? And then Pearl got eliminated shortly after.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We'll have to throw that clip on here if we can. If not, just Google it.
Yeah.
RuPaul and Pearl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to best put this as a connection, but going back way back to our Halloween episode, literally almost a year ago, we talked about how Halloween is a portal to basically another dimension. Some call it the afterlife, the occult, whatever. It's just a spiritual portal. What does Scorpio, because Scorpio season starts around that time, what are the correlations with Scorpio in that time of the year specifically? Because October, specifically like Halloween, is a very unique time of the year. I don't feel like there's any other time of the year that has kind of that same feeling.
Well, I think there's a lot of interesting connections to that. So as a fixed sign, it's in the middle of fall. So when you think of like fall vibes, you think of Scorpio season.
Okay.
And then with fall, you have like, not to be morbid, but like the decaying, like you have dead leaves falling, you have things ready for harvest because they reach like maturity.
That's true.
Yeah, things like that. And in Greek and Roman mythology, Pluto is ruled by Hades, the king of the underworld. So this is his season right now.
Got it. Which again, a lot of the symbolism, the story, you know, they even say like the devil lurks in the dark, right? It's just like, it's that mysterious waiting to kind of seize the opportunity, much like a scorpion, right? It'll kind of sit at attention with its little stinger, and then if you get too close, it'll sting you. They're not, and they're always like in dark kind of places. Like they're not a predator that goes out in the wild. They're very opportunistic predators, but when they attack, they attack.
Very, very instinctual, very creative. Yeah, just all those things.
I see. Okay, so a lot of creativity.
Because they are a water sign, very intuitive. Yeah.
I see.
Very, very good things.
All right, my favorite part, the messy part. What are signs that Scorpio would get along with? What are signs that Scorpios disagree with? And then romantically, what are good pairings and good matchings?
Okay, so they're the least likely to get along with Leos and Aquarius.
Really?
Because fire and air, just too much energy.
I thought you said it was a water sign. Scorpio was a water sign.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, fire and air is too much.
Leo is fire, Aquarius is air.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Scorpio would be like, you're doing too much right now. And because it's also a fixed sign, they would bump heads. Like we said, like they would be like, I'm right. No, I'm right.
Yeah.
The best companions for a Scorpio are other water or earth signs because those are the elements that get along. The best partner might be a Virgo.
Like a romantic partner might be a Virgo? Okay.
Just because Virgos are grounded and Scorpio needs grounded, but they're not stubborn and they're also a little more
The Virgos aren't
vulnerable.
stubborn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they might be stubborn with like certain things, but again, it's out of a place of anxiety. And I feel like Scorpio could pick up on that. Like, you're not malicious, you're not trying to fuck me over, you're just an anxious person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like Virgo, and also again, Virgo is like the character, the symbol is the Virgin. So like they could tell that, you know, maybe they're a little OCD, but they don't have any ill intent.
Yeah.
And then the like enemies to lover trope or like a love-hate relationship could be with Taurus.
Oh, but it's one of those things where they hate them so much they end up falling in love with them.
Could be, yeah. A good like enemies to lover sign would be Taurus, because there would be certain things that Taurus does where Scorpio's like, I can't stand it, because again, another fixed sign. But then with the Earth, it's like, I'm also attracted to that. What's going on? Yeah.
I see. Okay. And then as far as we talked about kind of the celebrities and what their stereotypes are, with Scorpio specifically, I'm very curious how they manifest their success. Like from your description, I don't see like a lot of CEOs being Scorpios, but I can see them being like the right-hand man or the fixer, or like they won't take the spotlight, but they'll get shit done. I'm kind of curious, like career-wise, where Scorpios go. Like, what's their career path, or you know, what's the archetype there?
It's funny because I feel like a Scorpio could be a good CEO.
Oh, you think so?
Because they have kind of trust issues, and I don't think that they would do well necessarily working under somebody. We have a very lovely Scorpio that we were talking to the other day, and we were like, there's nothing like working for yourself, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Scorpios, like, I mean, in a capitalist traditional society, like, the employer does not have your best intention at heart, and they know that.
Okay.
And so I actually feel like they would be good CEOs because not only, like, do they need that control, but they're also visionaries. They're dreamers. They're creative. Like, they can make a good product.
But do they struggle with taking the initiative? I don't know why. I just get the sense. Well, I think there's a lot of bias going on here because I know a lot of Scorpios, but I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of ideology, a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams, but it's hard for them to get off the ground. Does that make sense?
Okay, let me explain this.
Okay.
I feel like, for example, like Aries will just throw things to the wall and see what sticks.
Yes, and Tauruses will just do whatever the fuck they feel like and go for it, right?
Yeah, but again, Scorpios are opportunistic. Okay. So they will have a good idea, but they'll maybe sit on it till the time is right. They'll make calculated moves. They won't expend their energy unnecessarily. So
do you think, though, a lot of the times it passes them by because they're so calculated?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I think they make the right moves when they need to. I'll give you an example. So Jeffree Star, once he got to a good place, he had an idea. He was like, no one makes really solid liquid lipsticks. I want to make really good liquid lipsticks, but I need to find the right investor. I need to create the perfect formula, and I'm only going to launch with 3 shades. So if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
So very calculated. I got to open up a
calculated.
line of like a million different shades. I'm not going to, go and see all the investors in the world and see who works with me. He was very like, I need to choose the right investors, kind of a small sample size, and if it works, it'll go.
Yes. And then he released his first 3 liquid lipsticks, and they sold out. And so to this day, he's slowly adding things in. Like, for a long time, he just did lip products. Then he went to, like, other makeup products. Then he went into skincare. Then he went into, like, clothing. So he's
never jumped in at everything. Like you said, like Aries, he's never thrown everything at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah. When he had his, like, unhinged phase, when he was, like, an actual recording artist, that's, like, different. But he was also, like, not doing well mentally at the time. Once he got to, like, a better place and he was able to make these calculated moves, So to this day, you see, like, he is slowly expanding. And being in LA, he realized, like, the people here do not have my best interest at heart, but I like Wyoming because the people there will tell you to your face how it is. So that's why, this is like a weird deviation, but he's just such a good example of this Scorpio.
If he fits the archetype, then
yeah.
And then do you think that follows through and tracks within like love and relationship? Like very opportunistic, they have to have the quote unquote perfect partner. They're probably not going to be the first ones to initiate. Yeah,
so it's interesting because, again, with that, like, duality, like, they're very sexy and, like, they are known as, like, a sex symbol of a sign, but they're also the ones that could go the longest without sex because they have to have the right partner. Hey, this is Scorpio season. We got to talk about it.
Okay. I'm cringing a little bit so we'll get into it, but my mom and my brother are Scorpios. So this is a very difficult conversation and topic to have. But, okay.
Well,
as far as, like, relationships, though, will they let the perfect person pass by them, or how does that work?
If they can't get over some stubborn, like, intuitive feeling, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they over, like, fixated with, I don't want to say the red flags, but like where it's like, oh, that person, like,
quick to cut people off, quick to, like, not apologize, a little bit stubborn in their ways.
Okay. So that does track with the archetype.
What happens more often with Scorpio is that they're in a relationship and then it ends because they can't open up, and the partner's like, you're icing me out, and they're like, I'm sorry, I just can't open myself up. Or, like, there's an argument and Scorpio just, like, leaves.
Oh.
So, like, they'll get into relationships, but sometimes they can't keep them.
Got it. And then once they break it, it's broken. There's no turning back.
We don't want to say never, but
for the most part.
Yeah. Even though I'm a Leo and I'm not supposed to like Scorpios, I love Scorpios. I think it's because I'm Libra dominant.
I see. Yeah. And I guess it's a good segment into like doing our examples, but why don't we start, like always, with me?
Of course.
Where's Scorpio in my house?
Oh my god, I am so sorry, but I'm totally drawing a blank right now.
This is part of the episode. Look it up. I have more things to go over. So you did say that Scorpios don't get along well with Leos. My mom is a Scorpio and my brother's a Scorpio. I wouldn't say I don't get along with my brother. I feel we have a very big age gap. So I think it's like 7 years. So when we were younger, we just didn't have that much in common. We were in way different places in our life. It just didn't make sense, like, logically. But as we're growing and kind of crossing those same bridges that we've, as humans do, I feel like our connection has gotten stronger, but we're very, very, very different. Like, if you were to put us on paper or like even meet us, you would never believe we're brothers.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It doesn't always have to be, I guess, toxic, but is that kind of an example of where like maybe Scorpios and Leos just don't mesh?
Yeah, I think the demeanor is like extremely different. Like the way that you and your brother act, extremely different.
Yeah, completely different. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I also do feel like I'm pretty different with my mom. We have some similarities as far as like our communicate. I mean, at the end of the day, she is my mom, so I am my mother's child. There's a lot of characteristics I see like within myself that I know I got from her, but we get along well. And even growing up, like I can't really recall a time where her and I have had conflict or butted heads. Obviously, as adults, like when you're a kid, obviously there's the parent and there's like the parent child relationship, but as adults we've really blossomed into like a friendship. Like I'm very close with my mom, like we're friends. I talk to her almost every day, and it's kind of like having a peer. But I'm very curious because I knew this was coming. I knew this episode was coming, and just from previous conversations I've understood that Leos and Scorpios don't get along, or it's just not a compatible sign. So give me a little bit of insight into that relationship.
Well, first of all, that's because that's your mom.
Okay.
And you're not going to screw over your mom.
Well, I won't, but parent-children relationships, that doesn't matter. Like, you can have bad parent-children relationships.
Yes, but you're never going to be in a position of power over your mother.
Okay.
And also, like, you're her creation. She loves you. Like, Scorpio moms they adore their children. Like, Scorpio.
Not too much?
No, not too much.
Yeah.
They'll whoop them if they need to, or give them a reality check. But like, they love their children. That's like the watery part of them.
Oh.
But I just did some mental math, and so I'm also going to reference your mom. But Scorpio's in your 10th house of career.
Me.
Yes.
Okay.
And legacy. Before I go into career and legacy, you do say, like, I want to be like my mom. I adore my mom. Like, I want to have a relationship with my children the way that she had a relationship with me.
Yeah.
She's your role model in those things.
Yeah.
So you're basically like your mom's sun sign is really close to like what you want your legacy to be. So that totally makes sense.
Oh,
when you line up the charts like that. And that's why you adore your mom so much.
Yeah, okay. I don't adore her.
Yes, you do.
Let's not exaggerate.
Yes, you do. Oh,
she's listening right now.
He loves you so much. Anyway.
She's cool.
Anyway.
Okay. So, but where does the conflict? Because there has to be. I mean, first off, we need a little bit of spiciness in this episode for sure, more than you've already given. But where would the conflict come in? I mean, our relationship. You've been with me 10 years, which pretty much means you've been with my mom 10 years. I clown her a lot. I mess with her a lot. Like, I'm definitely chaos within her life. I think fun chaos, but like...
That's your Sagittarius rising with her. But where I do see the conflict is sometimes, like, you'll try to help her, or you'll say, like, do this, and she'll be like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. Or like, she won't reach out for help if she needs it, and you're like, I could tell that, like, you want to tell me something. Or like, I could tell that, like, I can help you in this way. And she's like, no, I'm chilling.
I got it. But that's just the Scorpio in general, right?
Yes, but that's how I see it with both of you.
With the dichotomy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right, go back to me. So Scorpio in my house of legacy and finance. We touched on
legacy and career. Not
Okay.
finance.
We talked about legacy. What about career?
So I feel like if we look at the trajectory of your career, you didn't really move around much compared to the average millennial. The average millennial job hops every year to 2 years.
Yeah.
And you stayed with the same basically like company, and you got promoted and stuff like for a long time. You basically did the same job for like what, 8 years, 6 years, something like
I
that.
don't jump around too much. in my
Exactly.
jobs,
Yeah. Because you were like, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm good at. And you also move up the ranks very quickly. And that's like not that you're seeking power, but you can fill a power void in your career.
Yeah.
So that's why you get kind of promoted a lot. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Then that's the Scorpio in me.
And also, just with the type of work that you have done and continue to do is very emotionally charged.
Yeah.
And you can go to like some emotional depths that people will not see in their lifetime.
Oh.
He used to be if you're okay with
Yeah,
it.
crisis counselor.
Yeah,
Mental
mental
health
health first responder.
Yeah.
He would be in some very emotionally tense situations, and he can de-escalate them. And you kind of do that sort of
Yeah, no, I still do.
for profit.
Yeah.
There's like a for-profit way to do that, and yeah, you're the fixer, you're the like negotiator.
And that's the Scorpio in me.
Yeah, that's your
Interesting.
Scorpio career.
Okay. I do want to share one kind of final story with my mom because, again, this is Scorpio, so this is her episode. I know she's listening and super excited. But we recently had a very fun interaction, and you can tell me where her sign comes into play and where my sign comes into play. My last birthday, which was August 16th, a couple months ago, we went to dinner. We had a beautiful time. We were about 45 minutes away, and she called me. We went to dinner. He took me to dinner, and she called me around like 10:30, 10:40, which is really, really odd because my mom knows I go to bed super early. I do not stay up past like 10. So somebody calling me at like 10:45, you better have a damn good reason to call me. And she knows this. But I figured, because it was like my birthday, she was like, oh, let me just say happy birthday before the end of the day, which she had already done, but I was so tired because we had such a fun, wonderful day. I didn't really put too much thought into it. So we drove back again. It was about a 40-minute drive. When we got back, it was around like 11:30ish.
At night.
11:30 at night. I was exhausted. I was ready to go to bed. We were doing our nighttime routine, and I think I was in bed. I know for sure I was. You take a little bit longer. And then all of a sudden I hear like a pounding on my door, like a super duper loud pounding. Yeah. And again, this is like 11:30 at night. Like this is super late. So
Yeah.
maybe this is a Leo in me, but like I'm gonna protect my family.
Yes.
I had no idea what the hell was going on.
That's exactly what it is.
And we do protect our home. We ensure that we have adequate protection for the home, and so I grabbed our protection and headed to the front door, and I was like, is somebody gonna break in, and am I gonna have to do something about that? So it was my mom. And to give context, my mom lives about 4 hours away. So she made sure to reach me right before my birthday was over, not only to say happy birthday, but to give me my present. She's like, I was going to make it my goal to get your present to you on time. And it was this beautiful embroidered Pikachu, not a drawing because it was embroidered. I'll put it up here on the screen. But it was just super significant. I mean, she literally rushed to finish it because I know she'd been working on it such a long time, and then just drove 4 hours straight in the middle of the night just to make sure to give it to me. And then she left. Like she did it. She was like, okay, bye. So I thought that was a fun story, and I was like, I can't wait for the Scorpio episode to share it. But what are your thoughts as far as our signs?
Yeah, definitely the Leo in you was like, I'm protecting this house, I'm gonna get that thing and keep it on me just in case. Because that day our system was glitching.
That's right, our cameras
so
were
we
out.
couldn't see who was outside. So we
Yes.
were like, oh shit, is this a sign? And then her just making that wild trip, I'm sure it's something to do with like her rising or her Mars, which I can't remember
But it's
right
a
now.
calculation, right? Of like,
Yeah.
I'm on a mission.
Yes, I was gonna say that also. That could be her Scorpio in play. That emotional depth of how much she loves you. That she's like, I'm gonna see mi nene on his special day.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, just that love, that intense love that she has for you.
It was really sweet. It was really sweet. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect story for this episode. So awesome. All right. What about you? Where's Scorpio with you?
I think you're going to laugh because you will. I think it makes a lot of sense. I feel like this is where I resonate to Scorpio energy the most, in my house of finances.
Oh, okay. Explain.
I'm very protective and like slightly sensitive about my finances. The only time I've ever cursed people is when they fucked me over financially.
Yeah.
Like, that is the one thing you cannot do. Even if, and I always say this, like, even if we won the lottery or even if he started making like 7 figures, I would not stop working because I have like trust issues around like money and independence. And like, basically, if you know, like, me in like a way that I don't share with a lot of people, again, sort of that like Scorpio energy around like finances and power, and basically people in positions of power using their finances against me. That's where I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, you're very, very protective. I mean, to the point though where I think sometimes it is a hindrance, because it's like we're okay, and then again, I don't know if this is the Leo in me, but I'm always like, we're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're always going to figure something out, you know? But yeah, that is one thing that is very, very characteristic of you, especially with finances. Like, you have to make sure your finances are in order. And yeah, you're always just super anxious that like something or someone is going to come and take it all away from you.
And this is twofold. So in my second house, with Scorpio of finances, I also have Pluto there. So I basically have like a double Scorpio there because of the planet in its home sign. So it gets like amplified.
I see.
But I also have my North Node there, which is like, what is the carrot on the stick? And the carrot for me is my North Node is money, which is why I always want to manifest it. So in like ancient Hellenistic astrology, the North Node was called like the head of the snake that just wants to keep consuming. Everyone has a North Node somewhere. For me, it's with money. And that's why you're like, where are you always manifesting money? This is why.
That's why. Yeah.
So I have some very strong Scorpio tendencies around like, and not finances like greedy.
No, it's just that security.
It's like, that security.
It's like, never like I want to have all the money. It's just like I never want to lose what I've worked so hard for.
Yeah. Or I never want to be in a position where like a lack of money is what screws me over because of a catastrophe, or what screws me over with someone that wants to hurt me.
Yeah. No, that makes absolute sense. Yeah, and that's your Scorpio. Interesting. Yeah, we have it in different houses, don't we?
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. Alrighty. Anything else we need to know about our friends, the Scorpios? And again, we have a lot of people we know, right?
Yeah. 2 kind of funny things. One, didn't your mom get you this watch?
Yes. I forgot to talk about that. Yes. I wore this watch specifically because she got it for my birthday, and she knows me so well. Sometimes I have very eclectic taste. Sometimes I feel like it's too much, and I'll get something that I really, really like in the moment, and then I'm like, ugh, this, I don't know why I would wear this. This is not a case of it. I really like this watch, and she actually sent you the money and said buy him the watch, right?
Yeah.
But I love this watch. It's a G-Shock. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I might have to do like a little like screenshot, but it's like a rainbow kind of bioluminescent see-through watch. So she gave me that. And then she gave me one time a very beautiful, absolute, a beautiful watch from Brito.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen our Unhinged episode, we talked fully about Brito, who he is. But he is an artist who uses a lot of color, a lot of shape. He's kind of like a pop artist. And he got me that watch. She got me that watch a while back ago, and it's also one of my favorite watches. So, I did wear this specifically for her today. Yeah. And this bracelet my aunt got me. Oh, this bracelet was actually delivered the same day that the Pikachu thing was delivered. So, very intentional today.
Very interesting. Yeah. Did you do that on purpose?
The watch I did. This one I just remembered right now about the bracelet.
Nice. So. I guess another 2 things. One, wasn't Pablo Picasso kind of like emo?
Pablo Picasso wasn't emo, but he was very how would I say it? He was the guy who
didn't he have like a blue period?
He had a blue period, yes. But I don't know, maybe this gives some context, but he was the artist who was like abstract, and he's like, I want to to put out there what I kind of feel. So what he would do is he would fall asleep, and then most people don't remember their dreams. So what he would do is he would eat a big meal and have like a hot drink out on his porch, and then he would hold a spoon, and as he was falling asleep, the spoon would drop and it would wake him up, and then he would write down immediately what he was dreaming about, and he was able to kind of put his dreams onto paper. And so that was kind of his process. So I don't know what part of Scorpio that is, but that's very eclectic of him.
Just like the depths, like being able to navigate like different realities.
Well, and understanding, like you said, a very calculated risk, because nobody had done that. And yeah, some of his stuff is very, like, especially for the time period, they were like, what are you like doing? This is very taboo. This is very X-rated. But he's like, these are my dreams. And he didn't censor himself. So a very calculated risk for sure. And it paid off. He's one of the best artists of the world has ever seen. So
Yep.
awesome.
And then final comment about Scorpio, we are going to have a special surprise Scorpio guest on the show very soon.
In
November.
Super excited. It's already been recorded. We are doing so good. I just want to say these last couple of months we've really ramped it up. We're working extra hard, and I know like it seems very ostentatious to like give yourself like credit, but I'm a Leo, so it's fine.
There you go.
But we've recorded a lot of stuff in advance, and we're just killing it. So just congratulations to you.
Hey, all right.
We did have a comment, so it's been a while since we've had some questions or comments, but we did have a comment from Janet, who is a Scorpio. So she said, I believe the biggest misconception for Scorpios is that they are secretive. Someone that wants to create a close relationship with a Scorpio knows that it's like pulling teeth to get any information about their personal lives. It really depends if you're speaking with an unevolved Scorpio or an evolved Scorpio. The unevolved Scorpios are the ones that feel like you're pulling teeth to get any information out of them. On the other hand, if you run into an evolved Scorpio, we know our authentic selves, and we don't believe in sugarcoating or masking what they want to know about us. So that makes a lot of sense based on what you said. And then she said, another misconception is that we are very cold-hearted. Mm-hmm. Scorpios don't believe in sugarcoating information, especially if you are seeking it directly from us. If you want to know the truth, we're going to give you the truth, even if it hurts. So let's just say that you know a Scorpio, but they rarely talk to you. If you approach them and ask them why they don't talk to you, they will tell you that they don't like you straight to your face.
Yeah,
and that's like kind of the straightforwardness that you were talking about. They really don't, like she said, like sugarcoat it, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it's true, like when we're all born, our energies are kind of like premature, and we have to learn how to master those energies. So where Scorpio is in your chart is maybe where you're very like skeptical, pessimistic, secretive. But once you like master your energy, it's where you'll learn to be discerning.
Okay. I wonder if it's exhausting being a Scorpio.
I think so.
Just because I feel like they always hold it in. But they also don't ever like explode either, right? I feel like Leos,
I think they might implode.
More than
explode.
Good. Yes. Good. All our Scorpios listening, let us know. You're not explosive, but you will implode. And that can be just as dangerous or even more. Yeah. Because with an explosion, at least people can see it and someone might jump in and say like, hey, are you okay? But with an implosion, you're kind of just like going crazy on the inside and not telling anybody. So very interesting sign. Obviously big connection to Scorpios, and that was a fun one. Other than your weird comments about Scorpio sexuality, I think I really enjoyed this episode. So if you're looking forward to hearing your side, stay tuned, because we're going to do all 12 of them. What are we now, 6 in? We're halfway through. We started with
no, we are at, let me do the math. Hold up. We started with Gemini.
Yes.
So then 6 will be Sagittarius.
Oh, which is coming up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're almost halfway there. So hopefully you've already heard your sign episode, but if you haven't, it will be coming up. If people want to get a hold of you, how can they do so?
Yes. On Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at Giancarlo or giancarlo.com.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Remember, the magic within you makes the world a more beautiful place. Blessed be, and signing off.
Bye.
Bye.